We've got some more breaking news out of Washington on the stimulus fight. We just heard from Mitch McConnell saying they're making progress. Well, now Speaker Pelosi says she spoke with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, saying she hopes the White House will support an upcoming spending bill. She also made clear any relief bill must ensure vaccinations are free and accessible to everyone. For his part now, Mnuchin saying he's reviewing both Pelosi and Schumer's proposal, as well as the bipartisan omnibus one. Meanwhile, President Trump continues to pound the table on alleged voter fraud. But just moments ago, Trump's attorney general telling the AP the Justice Department has no evidence of widespread voter fraud, certainly not enough to change the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Joining me now is Florida Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz. What do you think about what the Justice Department just said, Congressman?
I think the Department of Justice has a lot of egg on their face for having not discovered a lot of this fraud as it was occurring. I think the Department of Justice should have intervened and opposed the consent decree in the state of Georgia that reduced the amount of rejected ballots as a consequence of a signature match not occurring. There were places where we had dedicated FBI officials and Department of Justice officials in my home state of Florida, ensuring that there was not fraud in the registration process, in the ballot harvesting process. But I think we should have seen the Civil Rights Division a lot more aggressive to stop the ballot harvesting in the first place. David, as you know, this is very hard to find, prove, and obtain relief on after the fact because so many of the ballots get commingled.
Right. Well, and they were even talking about washing these Dominion voting machines clean. Thank goodness a court put a stop to that, though we don't know how many of the machines were washed. Let me ask about the dust-up now between Georgia's Republican governor, Brian Kemp, and the president. The president's been hitting him hard for not investigating these things more carefully. Doesn't a fight between the president and a Republican governor of Georgia make it a little more difficult to keep Republican voters together going into that very key Senate, those two key Senate runoffs in January?
The biggest threat we have in the Georgia Senate race is that the president's supporters will be so demoralized by the lack of fight we've seen out of Governor Kemp that they won't show up. I have to admit to you, David, I wish the Republican Party in Georgia were more unified. I think that disunity is in large part a consequence of several of the decisions that the governor has made. But nonetheless, it's my encouragement to all voters in Georgia to get out and cast your lot, because Georgia may be all that stands between us and socialism. This is a show about markets, and as you see, the Dow is creeping up to 30,000 now. I think that's largely as a consequence of people's belief that there will at least be a backstop in the Republican Senate to any administration that would try to undo the Trump deregulatory agenda that was so important to the prosperity that our country has seen.
Congressman, very quickly, President Trump's possible bid for a 2024 rematch between Biden or whoever's running for the Democrats and himself. A lot of people are wondering whether Republican rhinos are going to try to sabotage that race in some way to regain control of the party that they lost to Donald Trump. Quickly, what do you think?
In 2016, Donald Trump cut through 16 other Republicans like a hot knife through butter. He would do it again in 2024 if he wanted to, and he would have my support in that endeavor.
Congressman Matt Gaetz, always good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
This is Congressman Matt Gaetz. If you liked that video, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media, and join us on our daily podcast, Hot Takes with Matt Gaetz, on your favorite podcast listening platform.